Celebrity voice impersonation not an endorsement.
Why go to a single furniture store when you can go to Big Sandy Superstore? Shop and compare America's top 5 mattress brands, plus Nectar and Purple. And choose from over 22,000 in-stock appliances from the top brands at the guaranteed lowest price. Or furnish the room of your dreams with a large selection of American-built furniture. With financing plans for just about anyone, there's nowhere else quite like it. Big Sandy Superstore.
Hello and welcome to The Kroger Show. At Kroger, everyone wins when it comes to saving big. Because when you order online through the Kroger app, you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards on pickup or delivery that you do in-store, with no hidden fees or markups. So no matter how you shop, you'll always save big at Kroger. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Save big on your favorites with the Buy 5 or More, Save $1 each sale. Simply buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hello, good morning, angels, and welcome back to Morning Rae. I'm your host, Lani, and welcome if you are new here as well. I feel like we have some new listeners. The pod has really been growing lately, which is so surreal to me. We just hit 150,000 downloads in just over 10 months, or just under. I think it's actually today would be exactly 10 months, which is crazy. Oh my God, we're almost at our 1-year anniversary. We just hit 40 episodes. This is our 42nd. And it's so surreal to me because I literally started this so spontaneously in November of 2020. I posted that I was debating it, and Leah, my old producer, actually been getting a lot of questions about that. So I'll touch on that in a bit. But Leah, my old producer, reached out to me on my stories and was like, I can help you. Like, I'll help do all the background stuff so that you can record and be able to start this podcast when you want it. And we launched, that was like on a Tuesday. We launched the teaser on the Thursday, the first full episode on the Monday. And we've been going ever since. I've only ever skipped 2 weeks. Once when I was sick with COVID, and then actually maybe 3 weeks. I skipped a little bit when I was sick with COVID, and then on my birthday week, I skipped that week. Like the Monday following my birthday. My birthday was on a Friday. But wow, like I am so grateful and in awe of all the support that I have received here on Morning Rae, and it really wouldn't be possible without all of you babes. Like, you're the ones posting in your stories, tagging me, tagging the Morning Rae podcast Instagram, leaving reviews. I'm sure you've spoken to your friends, potentially, I don't know, about this, but I wouldn't be here where I am without you guys. And I'm so, so, so grateful and thankful for all of you and all of your support and your love. And it just means the world to me. So thank you for 150,000 downloads. Like, that's insane. I don't want to put that number to the amount of like faces. Like, that's quite crazy. And this is only the beginning. Like, we're not even at the 1-year marker. So I cannot even visualize where this could take us. But I'm here for it. I'm here for this journey. I love it. I love podcasting. I love how personable it is, how we have this intimate relationship with one another, how I'm able to just chat with you guys. And it's so chill and open, and I can be so vulnerable and real with you guys, almost like I'm with my best friends and it's super late and we're having a sleepover. I'm painting a picture here. We're having a sleepover. It's super late. We've gotten into bed. We said we were going to go to bed, but we're still up and we're talking and we're just having these super deep, deep chats with our eyes closed, you know that moment like right before you actually fall asleep. You say you're going to go to bed, but you're still talking. That's kind of how I feel when we're doing these podcast episodes. And I've had so many incredible opportunities to be able to speak to so many amazing people, including people that I look up to, such as Kenzie Elizabeth and Brooke Michio. Like, how insane that they were on my podcast. I've had some incredible friends on the podcast, and I'm just in awe of like how far it's come. But let's get into our weekly intention. My weekly intention is to really go full force in encouraging myself to get back on my morning routine. I feel like this past week I've gotten back into it and I've started to reel things in. I felt super out of routine and off balance, and it feels good to be getting this routine back into place. I can confidently say that I'm journaling again. I'm following the 5-minute journal. I've been doing 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night, and I'm really loving it. I highly, highly recommend the 5-minute journal, or you can go to my Instagram and try out the prompts that I post every Monday. So that is what I've been loving, and like waking up early, and now I've been taking my iron, so it's been a lot easier for me to wake up. I'm really trying to fix my sleep schedule by trying to go to bed by 11:30 latest. Ideally, I want to start going to bed again at like 10:30. We will get there eventually. But just like my weekly intention is to really like hone into this routine. And wow, I'm currently staring across my apartment, and first off, it's really cold. It's only like 19 degrees right now, but a really attractive built man just took his shirt off to go into the pool. Okay, mom and dad, if you're listening to this, you did not just hear that, but back into weekly intentions. I really want to like hone in onto my morning and night routines and ensuring just like my whole like lifestyle in general. I feel like I haven't been that keen like on my health and wellness. Like I've been killing it with like the fitness and everything, but in terms of like having nourishing meals and ensuring I have a proper morning and night routine, I feel like it's kind of fallen off the bandwagon a little bit, and I just want to get back into that a little bit. Obviously, like I don't regret quote unquote falling off of it. Life happens. I've had so much fun this past month or so of like the first month of living downtown and going out with friends and partying and whatnot. Obviously, like very safe, taking COVID precautions, but I'm just tired of like getting drunk every weekend. Like, yeah, it's fun, but like I'm kind of like exhausted of it. Like it felt like first year, it felt like frosh week for a month long. And I just want more balance in my life. I feel like it was leaning towards more like the partying side of thing, and that's not really me anymore. It's still fun, and I'm still gonna do it. I'm not gonna not do it, but I think there's balance in everything, and that is my intention, to just get back into feeling good mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all the things. And my tip of the week is to think of a new habit you want to incorporate each week, and then motivate and discipline yourself and encourage yourself to implement that habit, and find a way to like make a game plan so that you can achieve that habit, and then keep it for the next week, add in another one, and that's how you're going to have your sustainable goals and habits and lifestyle. Into my current faves. I've already spoken about this, but it's currently the 5-minute journal. I absolutely love it. I love, love, love it. It's really motivating me to get back into journaling. I also am falling back in love with my iPad and I think I use Notably to take notes for school. School has started. I really like this for note taking before class, from my textbook or the PowerPoints, case studies, and then during class. It's paper free. I don't have to worry about paper or pens. I absolutely love it. I have an iPad Pro. I think it's the 2019 version, 9.8 inch, could be wrong, something of that sort, but 100% the newer iPad Pro, not the newest one, but pretty new, 2019, and the pencil. And then I've also have gotten back into vlogging, and it's been such fun. I love it so much. I missed it, and I really want to try to be consistent with my vlogging. I recorded a week in my life, like school, work, routines and such. So that should be live. If not, it's going to be live on Wednesday for you, babes. On my YouTube channel, it's just Alana Bloomberg. It's linked in the show notes as always. But this intro is getting a bit long, so I'm going to end it off here. But I'm so excited to bring Katelynn on. I hope you enjoy this episode. If you did, make sure to rate, review, and subscribe. That really helps support the podcast. That's how we can get on the charts. That's how I can get even better and bigger things for you guys. So let's bring Katelynn onto the Morning Rae. Love you. Enjoy. Hi, guys. I'm here with Katelynn. Welcome to Morning Rae.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm
I'm
great.
so happy to be here.
So happy to have you on. So, for those who don't know you, who are you? Where are you from? And what is your zodiac sign?
If you don't know me, I'm Katelynn Nolan. I'm a lifestyle YouTuber, TikToker, Instagrammer, and I live in Arizona. I'm 22 and I am from Arizona originally. I'm from Tempe, Arizona, and I still live in Tempe. And my zodiac sign is a Cancer. You're a
Ooh,
Leo, right?
yes, I'm a Leo. I love that you know that.
I listen to the pod.
We love it. We love it. So, Katelynn, like you became really well known through TikTok. That's where I found you. Um,
Really?
and yeah, from TikTok. And then I like started following you on like Instagram and then YouTube when you started YouTube. And I always loved your little dancing videos. You post a lot of stuff about self-love. How did that journey start for you? Like what started you to shift your mindset and to really start to focus on having more positive relationship with yourself and the way that you talk to yourself and I guess wanting to share that with others?
I think that for me, it was something that I struggled with, just like negative self talk. And it kind of came to a point where I was just like, I feel like I'm getting in my own way. Why would I like be talking to myself the way I would never like talk to a best friend? And the way that I brought it to social media actually is just like very organically. I feel like I just wanted to be someone on social media that I wish that I had, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to just like fill the space of what I was looking for on social media and just create that in my own page. And I actually did start on TikTok. And then I just started like posting on Instagram and YouTube. And yeah, I just like have a huge passion for self love just because that's again something that I struggled with. And yeah, I feel like for my page, it's like I just want to create a place that is positive and like someone might scroll past it and just get like the daily reminder to be like nice to yourself. So I just like that's just like my number one thing. And that's how I started. And that's just still how I am going with it. I really love it. So
Was there ever like a light bulb moment where you're like, I don't want to talk to myself like this anymore? Like, I'm tired of having this negative relationship or like constantly battling thoughts or like being on like this up and down. Was there any moment where you're like, I'm not going to talk to myself like this anymore?
I do remember just like not like specifically a moment, but just like a period in time in my life where I was like just like more motivated and I felt like where I was previous to like that moment or like that time period in my life, I just wasn't the happiest. And I was like, something just isn't like working, clicking. Like, what can I do to like go back to the basics, you know, like just do things that feel good to me, what I'm passionate about. So, not exactly a specific like moment, but
Mm-hmm.
more like a time period in my life where I was just like, I want to be happy and I want to just like love myself the way that like I love my best friends or like my mom or Hunter, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So definitely not like a second or like a anything I can remember that's just like in the moment, but just like really wanting to get to the point that I'm at now is like a motivational like period in my life that I can remember, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And for someone or like even for yourself, I know like I still deal with days where I feel a bit down on myself or I feel myself kind of slipping back into those old thought patterns because we are human.
Mhm.
Like progress
Of
isn't
course.
linear. Like we have our ups and downs. What are some things that you like to do, whether it be a hobby or some practices like journaling or whatnot that you
Mhm.
implement on days where you may feel a bit lower or you find
Mhm.
those negative self-talk thoughts
Yeah.
coming through?
I love that you bring that up because that's another thing that I like really love to make clear, especially to anyone who's listening. Like I say like, oh, I'm so happy to be in this place and stuff, but like what you said, like progress isn't linear and obviously I have really bad days and like those thoughts come back and I try to like bring that to my platform too on TikTok specifically and just like share that when those like thoughts come into my brain, like for example, something for me that I'm always doing is like comparing on social media. I mean, it's so hard not to
Mm-hmm.
when you're just looking at a highlight reel. So what I really like to do is just like analyze that that's happening and completely just like put my energy into something else. So for me, like all of my passions are like cooking, fitness, watching YouTube, you know, I or journaling as well. And so just like switching my mindset to something else, or like,
I feel like my list of things to buy, to do, activities that involve spending money is never ending around the holidays, making the idea of investing and saving and thinking about your future to be a little bit more challenging, a little bit more overwhelming. Acorns makes it easy to start automatically saving and investing for you, your kids, and your retirement, even during the holidays. You don't need to be an expert. Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that matches you. You don't need a ton of time. You can create your Acorns account and start automatically investing your money in just 5 minutes. You don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you get started with the spare money you've got right now. That could be $5 a day or even just your spare change. That's right, Acorns can round every purchase you make up to the dollar and automatically invest your spare change for you. And you can get bonus investments just for buying the stuff you need from the brands you love. I personally love Acorns. It's simplified the investment process, which can be overwhelming and intimidating, but it just makes it so simple, so easy, and something more accessible no matter how much money you have to invest. Head to acorns.com/Alana or download the Acorns app to start saving and investing for your future today. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/Alana. I'm super excited about today's sponsor. They've sponsored the podcast before, and this is a topic I'm super passionate about. I fear that us as girls struggle with PMS far more than we should, and we really shouldn't. I truly get the worst PMS symptoms. My boobs are sensitive, my face breaks out, my sugar controllings are out of whack. I feel like I'm just a bottomless pit. My mood is not the vibe, and Estro Control has been super helpful in helping manage those PMS symptoms and making that time of the month a lot more enjoyable. Estro Control is a formula developed by Happy Mammoth, a supplement company dedicated to making women's lives easier. Say no more. Estro Control contains science-backed herbal extracts that help support hormonal health, especially if you are someone like myself who struggles with PMS. It was created to help women feel like themselves all month long and to not struggle with the feelings PMS can cause. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code Alana at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use the code Alana for 15% off today.
Not my mindset, my focus is something else. So for me, I think that number one thing would probably be journaling, just because it's so easy to just like get lost in journaling and just be focusing on that. And something I really like to do is gratitude journaling. I know you do it too. And I love the 5-minute journal. If any of you guys who are listening don't have that, definitely like one of my favorite purchases I've ever made. It has you just like write things that you're grateful for. So gratitude journaling is probably my number one thing that I do on those days that just like I'm not having it, you know? What about you? What do you do?
I find that I have a lot of thoughts when I'm standing in front of the mirror. So I try to encourage myself to step away from the mirror and to also log off of social media, because that's where a lot of like the comparison comes to, like, oh, I don't look how I used to, or I don't look how that girl looks, or look, she's so happy, but I don't feel that way. So I try to like log out of like a lot of the physical things. Journaling is a huge thing. I love going on a walk and listening to music that really like pumps me up and puts me in a good mood and puts me in a good vibe.
I love that.
And the movement is really nice, and like that helps release endorphins, which are like the happy hormones and everything, and the fresh air and the sunshine. It's just like all around good vibes. I like to surround myself with friends because they remind me that I'm so much more than my physical appearance, because I feel like that's where a lot of it is drawn to me. But journaling is a huge thing, like doing mind dumps or gratitude journaling. I just got the 5-minute journal and I want to get into the habit of using it. I always see you using it.
It's such a good one. I love that journal. I think also I love that it has a morning portion and a night portion, because it kind of just reminds me to like start the day and end the day with a better, like more positive mindset. Because it's easy throughout the day to just, even if I'm having a bad day or something, I never want to like go to bed in that mindset, you know? So I love that. Not that I do it every single morning or night. Like I definitely like sometimes I'll pick it up at like 2 p.m. or I just like won't do it that day. But I definitely notice a difference when I do it on the days that I do it, you know?
For sure. I feel like also in the morning, it just allows me to have like a really good like mind space or like head. I don't even know the word, like headspace, to take on my day. Cause like everything I cleared my head, I'm able to be focused. I'm able to get my tasks done, both like for my personal like morning routine and work and school, and show up for other people because I've taken care of myself. It's like you fill your cup up before you give it to someone else.
Yeah, I love that. That's a really good way to look at it.
So I always see you moving or decorating your place. Do you have any tips for making a new space feel like home? I know when I was away at university, my apartment never really felt like a home, and this apartment that I'm in now in Toronto finally feels like a home. But it definitely took me a lot of figuring out to do, and I'm sure a lot of people are curious. So, do you have any tips when you're
Yeah.
moving into a new space, how to make it feel like a home, set up your routines,
Yeah.
get yourself settled?
So if you guys who are listening aren't aware, I just actually moved into a new apartment with my boyfriend, I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And so I think that my number one thing for making an apartment or a house feel more like a home is to create habits, and even like new habits in that space. Because for me, like it's kind of like picturing it as a clean like slate or like a fresh start. I love fresh starts. Like I love the beginning of the month, beginning of the week. So when I first got into this apartment, I just was like, I want to like think about what's like my ideal routine here, and then right from the beginning stick to it. I don't know if you watch JC Marie on YouTube, but she mentioned that in one of her vlogs, and it stuck with me because I was like, wow, that actually like is exactly what I did. And like it's super motivating when you first move somewhere, and it's inspiring. So I think just like creating habits that feel good to you and that you want to continue in that place really takes it more into like a homey feeling. And what you said about like how when you were in college or you like didn't live at home at first, you didn't like feel that homey feeling yet. And I relate to that too when I first moved out. And I think a huge part of it is like not having that like structured routine. And even if like routines aren't someone's thing, they are for me. But if they're not, like just like little habits, you know, like making your coffee or whatever it is, you know, that just makes you happy. I think that's what really turns it into like a homey feeling.
And do you have any tips for like making a space in terms of like interior design feel a bit more like at home? Like I feel a lot of people are super caught up in making everything super aesthetic and super clean and
Yeah.
minimalistic, but they forget the parts that make their home that they grew up in that made it feel like a home, and bringing that into like their adult space. So do you have any tips for doing that?
So I actually used to work at a store that had like interior design and stuff like that. And I remember like one of my coworkers, actually she was my boss, she was saying like, don't overthink your home decor. Like if you're out and you see something that just catches your eye and it like, you're just like, oh my gosh, I love that. Like just get it and find a space for it, because those little things that just like catch your eye that like make you like just excited right at the beginning, having those in your space are going to bring that feeling home. And that's what I've been trying to do a lot recently. Even like if I'm at Trader Joe's and like a bouquet catches my eye, I'm like, I'm just going to get it. Like it doesn't need to be perfect or be the right color scheme or whatever. And just like for actual like putting together decor in like a room, I definitely use Pinterest. Like Pinterest is my everything. I go on there all day long. But yeah, you just want to make sure that you're not like being a perfectionist, because it's just not going to come together very quickly. And also like it's okay to take time on decor. It takes so long. I was just talking to my friend about this, that like I feel like it took me a year to finally like get a room situated, and even now it's like I don't even have like a TV stand. So just take your time with it, no rush. Just pick up things that you like love and that make you feel happy, because then you're going to feel that every time you look at them. And yeah, just don't rush it.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people want to buy everything at the get-go and have everything situated, but that's not like if you think of your parents' homes, they've bought things over time and they get the things that they really love, and over the years they add a piece here or new piece of furniture there, and that's kind of the mindset I went in with decorating my place. Like, obviously I still don't have everything. Like, it's only been a month. But I got, like, obviously you get like your essentials, like you get your bed and you get your pillows and whatnot. But
Yeah.
all the little like decor things, I'm like, I'll get them like as I see them and as
Yeah.
I like want them. I'm not gonna force myself to go out and buy all these super aesthetic things that are super trendy that
Yeah.
I'm not like obsessed with.
Yeah. Plus, another thing that I love about taking your time is everything when it comes together, like everything wasn't purchased all at once, which is fine if it was, but like when I go through my apartment and someone's over and they're like, "Oh, where'd you get this?" It's like, "Oh, I got that when I was here." You know what I mean? Like there's just like kind of like a story behind decor and artwork and stuff like that. So that's really fun too. So I totally agree with you too, of just like getting your essential stuff first and then just like piece together your home decor and stuff and make those are the things that like make it more homey. So those you definitely don't want to rush.
Yeah, for sure. So you work for yourself. I feel like a lot of people are always asking me, how are you so productive? How are you efficient? How do you stay like on top of all your tasks and make sure everything gets done on time? Do you have any productivity hacks, time management tips, anything of that sort that you are like, this is my holy grail method and that I go by?
So what I do every single day is write a to-do list. I'm a to-do list person. I feel like that's a very basic answer, but like honestly, it works so well for me. I really like to physically write things down. That's just like my personality. And I like really do cross them off at the end of the day. I feel like doing that, if you get in the habit of doing that, it makes you like more willing or not willing, what's the word? Like more
Motivated,
accountable
encouraged.
motivated. Yeah, more encouraged to get those.
Being super busy can make it really easy to fall into a dinner time recipe rut, or even with your lunches. Any meal, honestly, can get you into a rut, especially with a busy schedule this fall. You can keep mealtime exciting with over 40 recipes to choose from every single week, so there's always something delicious to discover with HelloFresh. It's truly a no-brainer. It does all the shopping and meal planning for you. Ingredients arrive at your doorstep, pre-proportioned and ready to cook, along with pictured step-by-step recipe cards. It's never been easier. I personally love HelloFresh as a way to get exposure to new recipes, make my life a bit easier as a busy 20-year-old in the city. And I love that it's worry-free, it's super easy, it's convenient, and gets delivered straight to my door. Go to HelloFresh.com/50Rae and use code 50Rae for 50% off plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/50RAE and use code 50Rae, 50RAE for 50% off plus free shipping. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit, and thank you for sponsoring today's episode of Morning Rae.
To-do list done. And it's like fun at the end of the day and rewarding. So I would definitely say writing to-do lists and actually crossing them off at the end of the day. For me, I try not to overwhelm myself. Like I'm like a realist. I'm not going to put like 15 things on my to-do list. I really like, say, what can I actually get done today and like what needs to happen? And if you like struggle with looking at a to-do list and getting overwhelmed, I have done that before. Have felt that before, and kind of sectioning it as like what needs to get done, what I want to get done, and what could get done tomorrow. That way, if you keep looking at it throughout the day, you're not looking at a list of 10 things. It's more sectioned off where you can say, okay, well, if I don't get to this today, I still have tomorrow. And it's a little bit less like overwhelming to start the day. So definitely to-do list.
Yeah, I love to-do lists. I'm the type of person that I have like a physical calendar. I use Google Calendar a lot, but I also need a physical, like that I can write it out. Like I like my to-do lists. I need to see it physically in front of me. I don't want to go to a tab like on the internet all the time. I like having it on my phone so that like if I'm out and about, like I can be like, oh, I can fit you in here. But my to-do list, I have to have it written down always. I have these little planner pads. I'm showing Katelynn. It's like this daily planner.
I've been wanting that.
I got this from Amazon. So it has a little schedule that you can put. I don't really use that. But then it has like your top priorities. So that would be like the things that have to get done today. And then it has like a task list and it has little check marks that you can check it off.
I love that.
And it like look at this. It has like an end of the day assessment. It says like, rocked it, satisfactory, better days are coming.
I love that. I kind of like bullet journal, do something like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like create my own pad like that. I need to just get one. It'd probably save a lot more time than writing it every day. But I've tried to do the phone like to-do list and like my notes app, but for some reason I never go back to it.
I never do.
So I think, yeah, like it's so hard for me. I really like to write things down. So, but some people might be different. So if to-do lists on a notepad don't work for you, then maybe do try like a different app or something. But yeah, for me, I just like can't get into technology to-do lists. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, because I like it to be the only thing that's like in front of me. I don't want to go through a million apps, get lost on Instagram in the process.
Yeah. And I'm trying to bring my screen time down. So I feel like journaling and like writing a to-do list is a good little like start to the day that's not on my phone.
Yes. What is your screen time?
I like refuse to look at it. I'm really trying though to mindfully, like I am like the past couple of weeks specifically, I think I saw a TikTok or something like somebody talking about screen time, and I was like, wait, I should be way more like focused on bringing it down, because like if I'm bored I'll just scroll on it. And I want to just like be mindful of it, you know. I don't even want to look, because I'm like I don't want to be like mad or anything at how much time I spend, because it's also our work, you know. Because I wish I could see like how much time am I wasting versus how much time am I spending like editing a thumbnail or something. Those take me so long. Like I was just talking to Hunter last night. Hunter's my boyfriend, if anyone doesn't know. I live with him, and we were watching TV, and I was doing my thumbnail for literally like 2 hours, my thumbnail for YouTube. And I was like, now my screen time is going to be high today, but like it's work. So I don't know. It's like hard to find a balance, but I don't know mine. Do you know yours?
I don't know what it is right now, but it's so high. It averages, because I do social media like for my own stuff. Then I'm a social media manager. And then like I mindlessly scroll. So my hours are like, it's not a cute look. It ranges between like 7 on a good day to like, I got it down to 6 at one point. Really proud of myself. It's like sometimes 10 hours. Like it's actually not okay.
And the other part of it, I'm like, I don't know, like I don't have anything to compare it to. So that's also why I didn't want to. I'm like, I don't know what it should be. Like how much time should I be scrolling like just on TikTok, you know what I mean? So I don't even know like what's a high amount of screen time, you know? Yeah. And also like my laptop, like does it count for that too?
I think there's a way, there's an option that you can have it like just this device. And then there's like a combined one, like if all your devices on your iCloud or whatever. I don't even want to know what my combined one is.
I know, because our job really is like on a screen most of the time. And there's no way around it, you know. But that's why I try, like how I said, I'm trying to be more mindful and like find activities off my phone. Just like I've been really trying lately. So like going on a walk throughout the day. I've been loving like going and walking to get Starbucks halfway throughout the day and stuff. You actually inspire me, because I feel like you walk a lot outside, and I'm like, okay, I need to start doing that and finding activities that are like no screen time, you know?
Yeah. And when I'm walking, because I always see people that are like walking and texting, I'm like, aren't you scared you're going to get hit by a car? Like, or walk into someone, especially like downtown Toronto. Like there's so many people. So I actively like encourage myself to put my phone away, like in my fanny pack or like in my pocket, or if I didn't bring anything, like not be on it, like just be in my hand, and like take this moment to be like present, even if I am listening to a podcast, to just be visually present as to like what's going on around me. But I do try to walk at least twice a day. Once in the morning, I find it really grounds me and like gets me like energized and like in the right headspace for the day. And then I like to do it after work, especially if you've been sitting at your desk all day editing or like doing notes like for school or whatnot. It's nice to get some fresh air.
Yeah, I love that. I've been walking a lot more too. I actually, ever since we've moved, I've finally been able to walk places. Beforehand, I really wasn't in anywhere where I could like walk to a coffee shop or something. So I've definitely been like taking that in and like enjoying it so much. We live like we can like walk to Whole Foods and stuff.
Oh my God.
So we've been doing that too. I've been doing, I think probably like 2 walks a day. I just don't do like longer walks. Sometimes I do it even like we'll walk like to coffee in the morning and then to Whole Foods one, you know what I mean? Like multiple walks in a day. But I do want to like get into like a routine of finding like my like walk pattern and stuff like that, like trying to like go in the morning or however it works for my schedule. But I really do find a difference like going on walks and like being in nature, like you said. And that's like definitely a really good way too to kind of like disconnect from social media and like comparison and stuff. And what like going back to what we were talking about earlier, just like when you get stuck in that like their life looks so happy or whatever, it's like a really nice break from just like being connected to just what you're actually doing in the present moment. So that's another reason why I like love walking right now. I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah, 100%. I also find that the more time I spend on my phone, if I am mindlessly scrolling, I notice like my mental health level that day in terms of how I feel about myself, or even just like my mood in general, is a lot lower. Like I've noticed that correlation. So especially when that happens, I'm a lot more mindful to put the phone down and to go do something else that's going to serve me better, whether it be to spend time with friends and family, to go cook or to bake or to get fresh air, get some movement in, read a book instead. I find that really helps.
Are you reading a book right now that you're into?
I'm still okay, so I haven't been reading as much. I'm in the middle of still reading Crazy Rich Asians. I love like stupid like rom-com situations to read, but I also love self-help books. I was reading Super Attractor by, I think it's Gabby Bernstein. I was recommended it by Hannah Eve. I don't know if you follow her. And that's really great so far. I was actually listening to the audiobook while I was doing work because I like to listen to podcasts while I'm working, especially because like in my apartment, like all day, like working remotely, it can get a bit lonely sometimes. So I like to put that on. Are you reading any books?
I finished Malibu Rising. I love that book. So I'm looking right now for a book that's kind of like similar to that. And I do love self-help books. I like to have like a self-help book that I'm like currently into, and then also just like a fun book, because I don't like to read self-help books at night. I feel like it gets my mind going. But I do like to read them in the morning or midday, because I always get very like motivated and inspired. So I love that, but I don't like to have that feeling at night, because my type of like personality, my brain just like goes at night in a million different directions. So I find that like reading at night is super helpful to kind of like calm down and wind down at the end of the day. That's another thing that I've been focusing on recently and for a really long time. I think I implemented this like a year ago, but I like really try not to scroll on my phone 30 minutes or so from when I wake up, and then also like before bed, just because I find it like very overwhelming to me. I don't know if you feel like that too, but that's a little habit that I love that I've created the past year, is just like scrolling less before bed and in the morning.
Yeah, I've made my bedroom a technology-free zone besides like my phone, which I really try not to be on before bed. I've been slacking a bit lately. I definitely need to get back into trying to encourage myself to read before bed, because I really do notice a difference in how I fall asleep and like the quality of sleep I get, and also just like how I feel going into the night and when I wake up. But I love reading like 30 minutes before bed. Sometimes it ends up being longer because I get so tied into my book. But I love it. And I love reading like fiction novels before bed, because otherwise I find like I get like very like, it motivates me, and then I want to like get up and like go and do something, because I'm like very like, if I think of something, like I want to do it now, like I can't wait. I'm like very impatient. So that's why I like the rom-coms, because I'll read them and then you get like super tired, and then like you just close the book, turn the lights off, and go to bed.
Yeah, I love it. I've just recently gotten to reading more the past year, and I'm trying to get into it even more. I am a slow reader though, so I hate that. Like I'm always like, I want to know what's coming, but like it takes me so long to read a book. But yeah, I really, really love reading. If anyone who's listening has any book recommendations, like you should tell us, because anything that's like Malibu Rising, I really want to read. and I'm looking for something because I haven't been that good this past couple weeks on reading. And I need to. I've noticed a difference.
I think I still have the highlight. I have a highlight on my Instagram called books, and it's all the books that I've read, and I put little ratings so you can see.
I love that.
And then
I'll look through that.
Brooke Michio also, I think, has a highlight. And then my roommate, Leanne Lives Healthy. She has a whole book highlight. I told her we need to have like a little library, and she has to encourage me to read more because she's a lot better at reading than I am.
That's really cute. So it's like my boyfriend Hunter can read like an 800-page book, and I'm like, I would literally take 10 years to read that, but it's motivating. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll pick a bigger book.
That's like Lauren Everett's and Michael Bosick. I don't know. Me and my boss always talk about this because like we're both like super obsessed with them. Like they read like 2 books a week. Like what are they reading? Spark Notes? Like are you superhuman? How do you read that fast?
I know. I wonder, like, I just like wonder how you could like keep up, you know what I mean? Like I feel like my brain is like, I need to like process. I don't know, I'm just a slow reader. I've always been a slow reader, but like that's like my biggest goal is to be able to read a book in a day. Like that's crazy.
Oh my god,
I wish I could do that.
I feel like Kenzie Elizabeth like reads books like so fast. Like how?
I know. She motivates me. Every time I watch her videos or see her post about books, it reminds me like I need to get into reading more.
Yes.
That's my goal. We should both set that as our goal.
We should like start reading books together, and then it can kind of be a challenge of who can finish the book first.
It'll be like 2 months later. I'm like,
like
5 pages in.
Super busy.
That's how I was. I went on a vacation with my friend Rachel Ratke. She's a YouTuber. Some of you guys might know her, but she was talking about the Malibu Rising book. And I bought it when we were on vacation, and I kept going to read it at the pool. And then I would just like my mind would go somewhere else. And then I texted her like 2 weeks later. I was like, I finally actually started the book. It's good. I just like can't. That's another thing is starting the books, you know?
Yeah, I feel
once
like
you start it and you get into it, it's better.
Yes. It always takes me like a hot sec to get into the book, but once like I'm like in the book, like I'm in it, and I will finish it unless I get sidetracked.
Same.
Everyone is obsessed with my morning routine. I'm obsessed with your morning routine. Give the listeners what goes on in your morning routine from start to finish. What are your favorite parts? What are your non-negotiables? Let's hear the Katelynn Nolan morning routine.
I love my morning routine. I have been waking up and actually making coffee at home. That's like my goal because I know I've been loving getting coffee in the middle of the day, like walking to get a Starbucks. So I'm trying to make coffee at home and not spend too much money on coffee in the morning. So I'll make my coffee, and then that's when I will like journal or read or write a to-do list. It's like always the first thing I do at my desk. And then I'm the type of person who loves to work out in the morning. So usually once I've like figured out any type of like work that I need to get done in the morning, if I'm going to post a YouTube video or something, I'll usually work until like 11 or 12. And then I take a break to go to the gym. Luckily, I have a gym at my apartment. So I've been working out. And then some days I don't work out, but on the days that I do work out, that's when I go. And then I come home, shower, and get ready. I feel like getting ready for me is like one of my favorite parts of the day. And I think it's like really important part of my day, especially working at home. I feel like it's easy to kind of like, I remember when I first started working at home, or like when quarantine first started, I would some days just like lay in bed all day. But because you can work from your computer, but actually getting up and kind of like making that habit of getting up, getting ready as if I was actually going to work is like something that really has changed my day. So I love getting ready and doing like a full skincare routine. I'm a huge skincare person right now. And then I get back to work. So just like having little like structured habits for my morning routine works for me. And I also don't like to like put too many habits that I need to do, like if I want to do yoga one morning, then perfect. But realistically for me, like I don't have time to just like do yoga every single morning, but you know what I mean? Like just having like those 5 steps, like coffee, journal, to-do list, work out if I want to, come home, shower, get ready. Those like really help me stay on track for the day. And then if I can add in like those little extras, then it's just like the cherry on top. But those are definitely like my 5 must do's, or I don't know if that was 5, but you know what I mean.
Yes,
5,
yes.
those little habits. What about you? What's your like number one?
Definitely some sort of movement, like whether it's just a walk or a stretch, or it can be a super intense workout or running. I just need to move my body in some sort of way. I think it's because I grew up dancing and I was so used to like exerting all this energy all the time. And now that I'm not and I'm sitting at a desk, I need to exert some energy in the morning and get some sort of fresh air. But I always have to walk outside at some point, get some sunlight. I feel like I'm very like Lauren, like Everett's Bostic. Like she needs like the sunlight on her to wake her up. So that's like me. It's very grounding.
The sun too. I love like sunlight and sunshine. That's like one of my favorite things. And like Hunter and I will just be like working on our computers all day, and then we'll be like, we need to take a break and go on our balcony and just like literally sit there in the sun. Even though it's so hot in Arizona, like you can't really do that for long. I think once it starts cooling down, I'm going to love being outside even more. But it's like extremely hot here. So the second we walk outside, it's like, okay, I'm good. I got my daily dose of the sun.
I love that. I have to work, like my desk always has to be facing a window because otherwise I get drained so much faster. Like I had my desk in this like little office thing behind me, but there is no natural light there and not even an overlight. We would have to get like a floor lamp for it to be lit up in there. And I was like, I can't do this. Like I found myself craving the natural light. Like I want to say like 2 hours into me working there, and I would be going to sit on my couch, which obviously like isn't the best place to like be working. I like to keep my workspace like at a desk, at a coffee table, like something set for work.
Yeah. My like definite non-negotiable was sunlight in this apartment. My last apartment was not sunny at all, and being here now, like I can totally see a difference. I just love natural light, and it like definitely boosts my mood. So that's why I wanted to have my desk out in my living room. And I've like noticed such a difference too, like going from working in a space that doesn't have any natural light to working in a space that's so bright. I like love it, and it's definitely a mood booster.
100%. Like I'm dreading winter. Canadian winter is so gloomy and gray. I have one at home. I'm going to have to bring it here, but it's called a sad lamp. So essentially it omits like the same, I don't know, it could be bullshit. It works though. It emits like the same like hormones or like level light, like or whatever. It boosts like your mood.
The light.
It helps with like seasonal affective disorder. So like that's like something I struggle with in the winter because like I thrive in like blue sky, sunlight. Like I need light, and when it's gloomy all the time and our days are literally like so short, like you wake up in the dark, and if you were to go to school or work, like it's literally dark at 4 and it's cold.
Goodness.
Like it's freezing.
I hate when the sun starts going down earlier. I'm like, no, I love it when it's up. And Arizona doesn't really get a winter at all, but it's bittersweet because I feel like you always want what you don't have, because like I would do anything for it to snow here. But it is sunny, so that is a good thing. That's like the bright side of not getting any like type of season. But yeah, that would be hard for me too. Just like I think that I am also affected by the sun as well.
Well, if you ever want a white Christmas or snow for a hot sec, you're welcome to come to Toronto. I'll give you plenty of that. We're just going to wrap it up. So if the listeners only take one thing from this episode, Katelynn, what's your one piece of advice or a quote that you want to leave them with?
It needs to be good, I feel like.
No pressure or anything.
No pressure. Honestly, I want to just like give a simple one, because that's kind of what I'm all about, is just like going through life and just finding things that are simple that help your day. I would honestly say just try to focus on talking to yourself the way that you would a best friend or someone that you just love so much, because that is just like such a huge difference that I've noticed in my life when I started thinking of it like that and talking to myself the way that I would want someone talking to me. Is definitely something that has like made my life so much happier and more positive and has really helped my self-love journey. So just doing that and staying positive and being nice to yourself.
I love that so much. And where can the listeners find you? I'm sure all my listeners already follow you, but where can they find you if they don't?
I have 2 Instagrams, at Katelynn Nolan and then at Foodie Girl if you're into recipes. And then I have a YouTube channel, Katelynn Nolan, and then my TikTok is also Katelynn Nolan.
Awesome. And
very simple.
So I realized, I feel like you would know this because you listen to JC, but I started saying awesome so much and I couldn't figure out where I got it from. And then it clicked the other day and I was like, this is from JC Marie.
That's so funny. I like that word.
Like I just say awesome all the time. Like I'm like, hey, awesome. And I'm like
well, thank you so much for having me. This is my first podcast, so it was so fun. I'm happy that it was on the Morning Rae podcast.
Aww.
You're the best podcast.
Thank you. Well, thank you for coming on, and I'm so happy to have been your first podcast. I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode with Katelynn. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe as that really helps support the pod. I love you guys so much, and we'll chat soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry. We were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.